I think we are live. Pretty sure. 90% sure. What's up, Ben, Frank, Tim? Guitar man. What's up, Terry? Strat Tom. Ron. What's up, Tactical? And Bill. And Rev Gary. And AJ. And Nana NJ. And Christopher. And Ripley. Platinum. Brandon Ray. Larry John. BC Rich. Blackjack Guitar. Mark Cote. Star Guitar Works. David Belcher. In Senior. I need that. Read that better. Jay Schaff. What's up, John? What's up, Rob? What's up, Mr. 845? Jimmy P. Johnny Rock, My Knees Hurt, Coots, Carl J, Tony Howe, Justin, 50/50. Oh, thanks, Buzz. Hurricane Relief Fund. Dude, I was freaking out a couple of days ago. But right now, it looks like we're going to be on the windy side and not even like the worst of the wind. I'll take the wind. It's the rain I can't deal with. The wind I can deal with. But they were basically talking like, like a crazy amount of rain, way more than it would take to ever like flood the basement. The chance of flooding would be like 100%. But right now, I don't even think it's going to flood. I think we're going to get less, than what it would take to flood the basement. So it should be good. I hope. It could change. You watch. It'll just change. Oh, it took a big turn east. You watch. You're just my luck. Yeah, it's the muffin top. Top of the muffin to you. It's got a nice tone to it, though. Yeah, it's been about 30 years since we've had a direct hit. This is going to hit New England, but it's going to be more western New England. And it looks like the bulk of the rain is going to be out in western Mass. Even if it shifts east, the bulk of the rain will be in central Mass. And my rain will go from like a ½ inch to like 2 inches, but even that's not crazy. It's the 4 to 6 inches, or they're even talking like 6 to 10 inches in some areas. That would just wreck me. That would just be catastrophic. So, I'll take what I can get. And right now, and I literally was on the National Hurricane Forecast Center right before I came on air. They're still saying it's pretty much going to be sort of steering in. There's an upper level low off the coast, and that's sort of dragging it back in. And which is why they had it so far coming out. And then slowly but surely it started to drag back in. And right now, as of right now, it's, it's all the way back to, instead of hitting the outer Cape, to hitting Boston, to hitting central Mass, to hitting western Mass, to hitting sort of like up into central New York. Now it's sort of back out into like western Mass again. And it could go tick as far east as I think is like central Mass for like where the center of it goes. But remember, on hurricanes, the east side of the hurricane is wind and the west side is rain. So even if it went, over the middle of central Mass, would be on the windy side, not the rainy side. I don't care about wind. I don't, and it's not even going to be a crazy storm. It's going to be like tropical storm. It's not even going to be like a hurricane force winds. So I just put it in the do not care file. I am fine. I can deal with wind. Rain is a problem. Rain is a huge, huge problem. And I was like seriously freaking out for a couple of days there. I'm like, you watch, this is going to dump like a friggin' wall of water. And they said, oh, it's going to sit around for like 2 days, and it is. But out in Western Mass. So I should be okay. Should be. -4 plus 4 dB? I have no idea, dude. You're talking to the wrong dude for that. Ask Glenn Fricker or like Fluff. I don't even know. I'm plugged into one and I have the instrument button turned on and the instrument light lit up. And I have the gain around, it starts at around 7 o'clock and it's at like 8 o'clock. What's the shell? I know. It's super light. That's pink. Well, you know what? You can kind of see with the white behind it. You can kind of see it there. Believe it or not. At least I can in mine. You can see it's sort of tinted. It's like a rose tint. It's like rose tint. I am almost certainly going to paint it, which raises it. And you know what? It's got a nice matte finish to it. I bet I could paint like right over it with like minimal. It's brand new. It's got no scratches, no nothing, you know. I bet I could rip the hardware out of it and just go right over it. You know, it's already sealed and everything, right? Nice matte finish. That's a nice base, right? And then the question is, what color? I think I'm leaning green. It's Dullahan. Don't you have to do green? It's Irish, right? Yeah, it uses the ball ends tactical, but, right, they go, God, I'm going to whack it here. I'm still whacking it. Hold on. Can you kind of, maybe you can't see it. They're in these holes. They're down in there. But, do you see that screw right there? See that one right there? You can actually lock the string in place. So if you have a broken string, you technically, if you've broken the ball end and it's still long enough to fit, you could tighten it down with this grub screw here and then with the grub screw up at the top. And that would work. Technically. All right. And then there's a little screw in the front. You probably can't see it, but there's a small screw in the front for these height adjusters. It's actually a pretty cool bridge. Do a Vi swirl? I don't know how you're thinking. Do pink? Just do like really straight up pink? Yeah, I think the string change, all you do is you slacken it. You unlock it here and take the string out and take the string out. And then you put the new one through and you pull it through and you can see the ends are cut off on the other end of that. And you tighten it down and then you tune it up. There's a ball end in the ass end of this thing. And like I said, even if you didn't have a string with a ball end, there is a little screw here, and I watched the video where the guy said, you know, you can either lock the string in if you're so inclined to do that, or you could use it without a ball end. That's what I was getting from it, and it will still slide up and down. That's what I thought he was saying, unless he meant it would lock in the tuning, but I don't think so. He was talking like it would lock the string in. Paint it mean green. Doesn't have to be like a Celtics kind of green. So, yeah, the cat does look concerned, doesn't she? Look at her. She's like, Hold on, I got a cough here. Very nice screws. Yeah, we're not getting a direct hit. I am so happy about that. The oh, if I can turn it around here. The flambe on this thing is just incredible. It's got flames for days, brah. Flames for days. Look at that. This is the flamiest flame that ever flamed. I call it flamey. Yeah, it's baked maple. Oh, right, British Racing Green, right. That's got a touch more blue in it, right, the British Racing Green. Just got a hair more blue in it. Now, it's not blue, it's not bluish, but if you compared it to, like, say, like the Emerald Green or the Hunter Green, or, you know what I'm saying, like some of those darker greens, you know, 90s all over again, Hunter Green. Oh, good luck, go Green Meanie. I feel bad, man. I was so worried about a direct hit here, and it just kept moving west, and then it wobbled east a little bit. I think I'm still safe from the rain. I'm going to get the wind, but I don't care about the wind. Bring it on, brah. You're like a Category 1 at best, and by the time it hits land, it's going to be like a tropical storm. I can handle that. It does sound pretty good, though, huh? No, there's no way we could lose our roof in the hurricane. Not even close. We're talking like 25 to 35 mile an hour winds. I mean, that's... that time I lost power, and we had that crazy rain. Just insane rain, and I had to run to Home Depot. It was like it was like a friggin' meteor had hit, okay? Because a lot of roads were closed, because power lines were down. It was like just insane. It was like literally like a dystopian world going over to Home Depot and getting this. They were like, yeah, you're gonna get. We could get 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. We had 90 mile an hour winds, 90. My roof is rated for 140, so we should be good. Street price on this is, I think, $4.95. You got to convert the old euro to the American buckaroo, but I think as of right now, you're looking at like I want to say $4.95, $4.98, depending on the conversion, depending on the day. You can see the front. It's dark. That roasting is dark. It's darkness. It's darkness. Darkness on the edge. It's a French roast. I don't know if I mentioned that. Which would explain the darkness now, wouldn't it? That ain't no Colombian. String action on mine is fine. Henri was claiming his action was a little high. I like my action a little high, but I wouldn't call this crazy high action by any means. He was complaining that he couldn't get it any lower. Yeah, Henri, we call that a shim. You stick a little shim in, the neck cranks up. Like you could shim that just the tiniest degree, and the change would be massive, and then you'd be fine. So if I was him, I'd take the back off and throw, a tiny bit of fiberglass, a little piece of wood, the edge of a Matchbook, that's what we used to use, matchbook covers, scrap pieces of scrap wood. It just has to be consistent along the whole thing and just be, a tiny bit. And just stick it down in the butt. And that'll give it a tiny bit of tilt. And you're good to go. I wouldn't go with anything too hard, though, because although you want it to rise up, you want it to compress a little bit to try and make an even path. You can get the ones from StewMac that I think are very expensive. And they're not going to fit. You're going to have to wind up modifying it anyway. So just go old school. You know how many Ibanez's I pull apart and they have a friggin', little piece of fiberglass down at the bottom. Just a little bit of tape, something like that. Yeah, exactly, a piece of tape. But yeah, exactly. Small piece of veneer. I worry about a credit card because I don't think it'll compress enough. I'd rather use wood or cardboard, or, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, fiberglass, something like that. Something that'll compress just a hair and make a much even ramp. But the smallest bit, to those of you out there who have done it, you know that it doesn't take much, and you're like, oh, well, that's a whole new world. That's something different now. It's stainless steel frets on this. Yeah, I know, $500 buys what you could only dream about 30 years ago. 30 years ago, this would have been some New York boutique, and it would have been, friggin' $1,800, in 1983. The equivalent of something like, $6,000 today. Yeah, plastic from some old credit cards. So I worry about credit cards. We would use that. We'd use it. But yeah, veneer from a craft store. We would have all kinds of little. In fact, we had little shim strips that we used to have of like different thicknesses that we used to have at the. And they had that nice bench that was basically covered in like a loop carpet, which I wasn't sure was too good for the finish, but we never scratched them up. I got to say, it was pretty good. It was like, I guess, a nylon or a rayon loop carpet. You know what I'm saying? It like almost basically like that, right? A tight loop. Thin copper sheet. I like copper shims because they're malleable, right? Again, copper's a very soft metal. Like it. What's up, Blind Eye? Trying to catch up. I'm trying to read the comments here. What happened to your EVH neck you had worked on at the replica? I actually talked to them, and they're getting there. They're getting there. I sent them a GoPro, and he's like, I got to charge up the GoPro. But they have the batteries. I sent them 2 batteries, and they have the same GoPro, so they can use their charger. But they're going to get some footage of it. We're getting there. I told them, I said, listen, no pressure, but Eddie, the anniversary of Eddie's death is coming up. You really want to go past that date without having that neck done for me? It's gonna feel like a long time. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, how much are you paying for this again? I'm like, nothing. And you're paying for the shipping back. No case on this guitar. It came with a bag, and it's not in arm's reach, but it's a little bag, and it's a thin one. It's a Squire level bag. It's a crap bag. It's a crag. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's that thin. It's not a big, padded, nice, like mono case bag or anything like that. Roadrunner. No, no. It's a very thin bag, but they throw it in. No, you get used to it, actually. You don't really go for the tuners up there. You don't. You also, Floyd Roses. So, you do get used to... Sometimes I forget that the tuner's up here because of Floyd's, right? It's all locked up and I'm going down there to tune. So, not really. Someone was asking about the Korg. The Korg is not hooked up. I do have my my keyboard hooked up, and I have some software in here, but the software, the other day, I was listening to Tone King, and when I started the software, it cut out his audio. It sort of stole the audio away from YouTube, and I worry if I try and start it, it might crash it and steal the audio away from this app here. So I'm a little nervous. I have, you know what? I might be able to open it in Reaper, but again, Reaper, I have to double check that I have that set to the correct, sync rate. But I wouldn't buy the guitar for the bag. Oh. Hold on. I told you, I get shoes that they're practically friggin' cleats. They have deep grooves in the bottom. They're like hiking shoes. And, cables just find their way in there when I move my foot. You gonna work? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm seeing a meter. But I mean, where are you gonna get a slab of maple like that for under $500? It's like, good luck, contoured heel, stainless steel frets. And that's an Apollo bridge. That's a branded bridge. Actually, it's kind of grown on me. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the color, because I don't really think it's all that pink. It's sort of pinkish. But I'm telling you right now, if I paint that like green, maybe add some flames or something, maybe a little pinstriping, I'm telling you, it's going to look sharp. What's up, Pete? No, I'm not growing my hair. I probably have to go and get a haircut soon. I haven't been in a while. I let it go for a long time, and I'm not going to do that again. Is the guitar worth the money? I think so. Absolutely. I think it's hard to argue about any of the Harley Bentons not being worth their money. They seem to find a way to manufacture guitars for... They cut out the middlemen, right? It's like that is Thomann. They are the retailer and they get the best price because they are the maker. Right? They just went direct and just had their own brand made. And in-house brands, I suppose I could go. Someone said Vice Swirl. You know, the Vice Swirl actually might work with the headless, quite well. Thanks to Shape, yeah. I hope so. It still could go the other way. I'm not completely out of the woods yet. I mean, there is a chance it could wobble back this way, but I don't think I'm really ever going to get in the crazy rain. I think I could go from getting, right now they're calling for a ½ inch of rain. That's nothing. Maybe I could go from a ½ inch to like 2 inches of rain, but even 2 inches of rain is nothing. That's, especially over such a long period, that's nothing. 6 inches of rain, and I'm flooded like crazy down here. Even 4 inches of rain, even 3 inches of rain, if it's in a short enough period, I'm pretty much doomed. So, And they're talking like 6 to 10 inches of rain in some of the heavy spots there. God, that would just wreck me. So, yeah, I should be good. I should be good. The Benton Fusion looks worth it. I have one. It's got the Floyd Rose 1000 on it. Again, another flame roasted maple neck, although I don't think the flames are quite as flamey as this neck. And it's not, I don't think, quite as dark as this. It also looks like a little lighter. And that's a great guitar. In fact, I just had that out the other day. The Harley Benton Fusion. I have a Fusion 2. Four to six where you are, man. Well, I do have everything up, but it still sucks to have to worry about, losing power. You would only have minutes to switch over to generator power. The water would come in so fast that, there's no margin for error. I'd have to sit down here and babysit that thing. I was down here babysitting it that day, and it got out of control because I wasn't staring right at it. And by the time I got over there, I was like, oh my God. But I had a backup. I have 4 pumps here right now and 2 discharge kits, plus the discharge system, literally physically built into the house. That's 3 discharge systems and 4 pumps. I don't know what more I could do. Other than you spend the 20 grand to have French trains put in. I won't get hammered with rain because I'm on the windy side of it. Hurricanes they're weird. All of their rain is on the west side and all of their wind is on the right side, on the east side. I'll be on the east side of it. So I'm going to have high wind, but even the high wind is only going to be 30 to 40 miles an hour. It's going to be nothing compared to, I've had much, much worse. Nor'easters in the winter, we get 40 to 50 mile an hour winds, so that's nothing. It's the rain. It's the rain, and the rain is all on the west side of the spin, and right now the spin is going to go out over sort of central to west central Mass. Hold on. I'm going to go. I have to move this here. Yeah, there we go. Could hear it. Yeah, 10 inches of rain. Well, last summer we had that rainstorm. We had a microburst last summer. It was in June. We had 7 inches of rain in 40 minutes. And I didn't flood down here because it happened so fast. And I live up on a hill. It all just drained down. But at the bottom of the hill, businesses were destroyed. It was lifting up, Jersey barriers, not the concrete ones, the water ones, because they're filled with water, and water is the same weight as water. And so you have all these water-filled Jersey barriers floating down the street. It was like, huh. Wicked Piss of Rain. You guys had some rain there, RJ. You made the weather channel. I guess you guys had a bit of rain down there. At least I think to the, what was it, like to the northwest or the west of Nashville. Looked like wicked piss of rain. Yeah, Eddie famously played a Steinberger, a little one. And I saw him on tour with it. He has a couple of songs, Summer Nights, you know. I'm going to put the pick down. This is the hard part. You know? Right? Then he latches it off. Was it D? Yeah, there it is. Is it? Ba-da-da-da. Something like that. I think something like that. I think it's that. Yeah, the 5150 tour. I saw that tour. I saw the 84 tour. I missed the, a lot of my friends saw the Mean Street tour. And I really, really regret not being seen it. It was 82. The Mean Street tour. But, yeah, that was like, I think either 80, that might have been 81. It might have been 81, actually. That sounds about right. 15. But I didn't get to see them until 84, and then 5150, and then Monsters of Rock, and then I guess it was the OU 812, because it was there, instead of Monsters of Rock, which was that summer, that was Metallica, and who I missed. Sorry, Metallica. Scorpions, Dokken, Kingdom Come, and Van Halen. Van Halen was the headliner. Yeah, 82 was Diver Down. Yeah, so it was 81. Yeah, 81. I know so many friends that went to that show, the 81 show. Probably in Providence. I don't think it was Worcester yet. I think they went to Providence. Because I saw Rush on the Signals tour, and that was some of the first shows coming out of Worcester, coming out of the, what's now called, I think, the DCU Center, but back then it was the Worcester Centrum. Saw Motley Crue there a bunch of times. Saw Maiden there a couple of times. Saw Maiden at the Cape Cod Coliseum, which is it's like a 5,000 seater, and they probably had 3,500 people there. 5150, I kind of knew it. It's see. You got to put the right fingers on the wrong strings. That doesn't sound right. See, it's all about having that. All right. Yeah, it probably is drop D. I don't know, humans being. They played your high school in 77. We were going to get them to play our high school in 1980, but they had 2 hit singles and they backed out. They said, yeah, we don't play high schools anymore. You're like, oh, what are you, big? What are you, like Van Halen or something? What do you think, you're all big? And they were like, yeah. Yeah, I think that the rumor is that the school paid, I thought it was $30,000, which is, that's a pretty good payday in 1980. That was a lot of chocolate bars. We got instead, I'll never forget it, I'm at the orientation. And they were basically like, we sold the chocolate and, we like to do concerts. I think they had the Cars another year. Jay Giles, I think, had played there. And they were like on the Black and Blue tour. And I'm going, oh my God, because I'm so into Black Sabbath. Fresh off the Black and Blue tour, Blue Oyster Cult. And I was like, okay. And they were great. They actually really, really kicked ass. They sounded so good. And the stage took up half the gymnasium. It was enormous. It exceeded my wildest dreams. I had envisioned this stage in the corner of the gym. And I got there, and half the gym was just this giant monolith of speakers. I was like, oh my God. well, okay. Okay then, wow. Huh. It's a pretty big stage. They blew out the power and the town banned shows after that one. That was the last show ever at that school. And if you look up the concerts, you see they played, I think, the night before in Boston or Providence with Sabbath. And then they come and they do our show, and then they catch up with Sabbath like the next night. This was just a little sideshow for BOC. Hey, what's up, Aljon? What's he doing, buddy? The thing is Jay Giles, when I was going there, they probably at that point would not play the high school again. Because right at the start of my freshman year, when BOC was playing, Jay Giles had a huge hit with Centerfold. It was like a mega hit. Now they had other hits like, Comeback and, but I feel like they were more regional, Whamma Jamma. Again, those all felt like they were regional hits and not so much national hits. But Centerfold was an absolute national hit. Is Krellbar in the chat here? It's got a nice feeling nag. But it looks like the color looks like a, dried toothpaste. It looks like primer. I'm going to be honest, it looks like primer. Again, I suppose I could EVH it, you know what I'm saying? I could do the full-on stripey mixed stripe. But I'm thinking I got to paint it something. Again, I'm leaning, I want something to go with the neck. Go green, go blue, red, go yellow, gold. A pretty good gold. Pinstripe it. What string gauge do I use? I generally use 10s. I have been known to use 9s and 11s, but in very select cases. I was an 11s guy for a little while, but I'm getting old and they're wrecking my fingers and they're wrecking my hands. So I'll use the 11s on my Ibanez RG with the scallop neck just because it helps prevent, bending out of tune accidentally by pushing down. But I really don't even need to do that. And I'm probably going to skip the 11s and just move on straight on the 10s. On some Ibanez guitars, I prefer 9s. But it's usually like the S style. The things, the ones with the 22 frets instead of 24. Other than that, I'm almost always 10s. Almost always. Kind of like 10s. 100 guitars, not even close. I don't even think I have 40. Play 7s now. There's been people, Beato convinced a lot of people to go to lighter strings. Go EV8, go Bumblebee, go Bumble on it. I could see Bumble on that. And because the neck is roasted so dark, it could actually look more like the Frankie, right? That's like a Frankie level of darkness. What's up, Fast Eddie? Like that's out. Doing a White Lion decal, Vito Prada signature. Oh, Vito might have a problem with that. He'd be like, don't drag me into your shit project. This came with 10s. They strung this up with 10s, and I am playing it in E flat, because I was working on a song recently in E flat, and this doesn't have a trem on it. So it's very easy to, move the E flat if you don't have a floating trem. So I just use this one. And it's compact too. I was over at the other thing, the desk over there, so. Should do a Steve from Boston logo guitar. Oh yeah. What do you think? Just put a big old logo on the back. Put it under, right? Paint it its color. Get a logo in the transparency, like white against a dark color or black against a light color. Lay it under and then gloss over it. I suppose. Oh, need some cringy retro airbrush art. Now you're thinking. I just don't know anybody that's could do it. I could do it myself, right? A little cringy stick figure. So artistic. Like a kid with crayons. The fretwork on the guitar, great, fantastic. They're stainless, and they got the nice nubs, and the tangs are cut. I really like this. The tangs are cut short of the end, and then they just use filler, so you don't have to worry about the tang. At least that's how it looks to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that looks filled. Because if the tang goes all the way to the end, that's when you have it. But you know what? You don't even have to worry about that so much with roasted necks, because roasted necks don't move. They don't shrink, and they lose a lot of their moisture, in the process of roasting, and they caramelize, right? There's a name for it. I can't think of it. It's what makes the outside of your marshmallow brown when you toast it. And your toast. How closer you are on the pacer. The pacer is coming along, and it's coming along stunningly. You know what I did? I ordered a couple more parts. The clamps for the Floyd Rose nut. I'm going to leave the nut. It's the original 83 Floyd Rose nut. It's the original bridge and everything. It's all original. But the screws were sort of worn out a little bit, and I ordered the original Floyd Rose replacement screws, the German ones. I could have got stainless steel, which technically are better, but they're not original, and I wanted to stick with the 83, so I went with the standard, like, hardened black steel, and I got the made in Germany Floyd Rose original parts, which they weren't very expensive. And I got the plates, the clamping plates, because the bottom sides of them were quite worn out, And the tops had flaked off a bit of chrome around where the screw goes, because, you clamp it down and you unclamp it enough times, you start to flake off the chrome. And so I was like, you know what? Do it upright. So I got the 2 original Floyd Rose. I got the clamps, plates, and I got the clamp screws. And they should be here on Tuesday, I think. And that should do it. I think after that, I actually took a lot of time yesterday to sit there with a very small cleaning brush and fine clean the Floyd Rose, because I really don't want to take the saddles off. And if I was insane about this, I would measure the distance from the front plate of every single one. I would keep a record of all that. I would take all of them off. I would clean the plate like it's brand new out of the factory. I would clean each saddle like it was brand new out of the factory. And I would replace all those bolts like they were brand new out of the factory. But I can't spend too many more hours on this project. So I'm just going to clean the bridge, which I have to say, I'm telling you right now, looks already pretty friggin' stunning. And then get the, because it's very chromed up. It's not missing any chrome. Some of the old Floyd Roses, if they had really acidic hands or whatever, they really break that chrome off on the top. It has none of that. They look sweet. It's in a really good shape. And it's OG Floyd Rose for sure. It's even got the plastic grommet on the bottom. I mean, this is OG Floyd all day. So I'm just going to leave it. Should have brought the name Man Carmel. Where is SRV on your all-time guitar player list? He's probably in top 10. Stevie Ray Vaughan is up there. Tell you, man, I heard Stevie Ray Vaughan on a friend of mine used to say, on Sunday nights you can get the Howard Stern show. He goes, but I couldn't get it. But one night it was like cloudy, and it was late. And I was able to pick up the show. And he had an Elvis impersonator on who he absolutely destroyed. I was like, boy, this guy is vicious. I mean, he was killing that Elvis impersonator. And then he had Stevie Ray Vaughan on, and he doing an interview with him, and Stevie wouldn't sing. I think Stevie didn't want to give him free songs. But he said he'd play all the guitar you want. And I was blown away at his guitar playing. He was so friggin' on fire. I remember I was just absolutely, it was live. And it's a repeat. But you know what I'm saying? It's over the air. It's live of him in the studio. And I think they did a repeat somehow on like a Sunday night. And let me tell you, maybe it was the Connecticut show. I mean, this is in the 80s. A long time ago. And he just friggin' killed it. I was like, oh my God. I remember going to work the next day and saying, like, I heard Stevie Ray live on the radio last time. My God, he is like really good. And then a couple people were like, oh yeah, no, Stevie's the real deal. Just unbelievable. So friggin' good. Basement guitar. Not looking forward to tomorrow's hurricane, dude. We dodged the bullet. I can't relax yet. I won't believe it until it's like literally on the doorstep and there's like a 0% chance it's gonna friggin' suddenly, oh no, it took a terrible turn to the east. It's heading out over the Cape. It's gonna spin out over the ocean of Boston Harbor and just bring in 10 to 12 feet of water. It's like, It's like, I am like so friggin' freaked out, but they're telling me I'm out of the danger zone for rain. I'm in the wind zone. I don't care. Rain freaks me out. Wind, Aljon, I heard down in your area they had quite a bit of rain today because you made the weather report on the Weather Channel. I've been watching the Weather Channel nonstop. And they down in Nashville area came up. You're getting some pretty serious thunderstorms down there. Oh, did you see Stevie Ray at that blues festival in Great Woods? A friend of mine has some photos from that he took of Stevie Ray. They look amazing. So many of my friends went to go see that Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jeff Beck, double bill. And I was like, oh, we'll go see Stevie Ray another time. Then a buddy of mine had front row seats to Stevie Ray at the Orpheum Theater. And he took his lousy girlfriend. They broke up within like a couple of years. We're still friends. He was over here today. Like, bros before hoes. Jesus Christ. We learned nothing. Front row. Yeah, Jim Cantor. Jim Cantor, he looks like the dude who's gonna he's like, I'll just throw that hurricane in a headlock. Johnny says he saw SRV when he was 13 at Texas Flood Tour. Wow. That's amazing. I don't think I saw my first concert until I was 14. And then I very quickly saw BOC in the Cars. And then it was a little quiet. And then the next fall I saw AC/DC. Favorite White Lion song? Well, Wait's the one that always comes to mind, right? That was the big hit, but I'm drawing a blank on the God, and I used to know them too. He had a couple of ones that were just so shreddy, you know what I'm saying? And two-hand tappy. Don't forget the taps. Yeah, God, it's been so long. You know what? I should revisit that now that I have that Amazon Everything Music account, right? I got to use that more. I can't tell you how many times it's like, oh, that came out. Oh, yeah, I should check it out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You pay $15 a month for that stupid music account that you never use. Go on there and find it. And sure enough, they have it. They have everything. Once you pay money, you get the whole catalog. So I got to use that more. I should go on and check out some more White Lion. Your first concert was Hanson. I bet they're pretty good. Hanson's a talented group. All right. Speaking of Rick Ocasek and Ben Orr, did you see the Dimebag lawsuit? What a segue! What a segue! I saw Russian '83 too. I saw that same tour. And the reason why I say that is because, like, you would think from that lawsuit, which I read, I found very interesting. I won't comment beyond that, but as someone who comes from the legal world, I found it an interesting read. Those ML designs, that design that they're sort of claiming, that came out in like '79. I remember Elliot Easton playing one with the big V headstock. That's not a Dimebag thing. That's a Dean thing. I know it might be associated with him, but who's associated with who? You know what I'm saying? I really remember Elliot Easton. He had I bet if you looked on the internet, you'd find it. Do search for like the Cars 1980 tour or something like that. He had a red one that looked sick. I think it had an ebony fretboard and big block inlays. I remember Rick Ocasek had one, but I forget the color. And I remember Rick Ocasek had a black Dean Cadillac. And I also remember the bass player, I want to say Ben Orr, had a black Dean ML bass. You know, that shape has been around a very, very long time. And it's, it's just a little weird that, if you read that suit, she's basically like, where do you get off, like, trademarking these shapes? It's like, are you for real right now? He's like, these are the shapes that Daryl made famous. I'm like, are they, though? Are they? For maybe certain people, but again, for a lot of us, I really associate the ML. Look, the guy took a V and he took an Explorer and he combined the two. He came up with the ML, right? It's pretty much what the shape is. But I just remember that going back literally to like the early 80s. Long before Dime was around. So, I don't know. Now, I guess there's one other shape where I think the lower belt is a little different. It's a little shorter. But again, I don't know. And I heard Buddy Blaze just died, right? Didn't Buddy Blaze pass away within the last few weeks? And was he associated with that somehow? Again, I don't. That lawsuit read like a soap opera. I was like, huh. Elliot Easton is one of the most underrated guitar players in history. Absolutely. That dude can kill it. And his solos are like little mini, musical compositions inside a larger composition. They're very lyrical. And they really, really work the chord changes so well. He's really, he's really, really good. He's playing Bob, right? Isn't that it? Yeah, that's right. And Hager. Oh, that's right. Sammy Hager played like an ML, right? I remember Sammy Hagar playing the Dean, headstock for a while. And again, just because I'm an older guy, I just don't. I know Dean is very and Dime are very associated, but when I swear the first person that comes to mind when I think of Dean is the Cars, because for a little while there, they seemed to all be playing nothing but Deans, and it was around the time that I saw them, which was like 80, 81, 82. I think I saw them a couple of times. What's up, Tone Lives? Buddy Blaze painted the Dean from Hell. Oh, okay. Just died days ago. I thought it was recent. Yeah. And then the other thing is, like, that lawsuit mentioned, all these, they don't say copyright, but they seem to be making all these copyright claims as to that artwork, And, the Supreme Court came out with a case in 2019 that said unless the copyright material is registered, you can't claim copyright. We're tired of looking at common law copyright claims. We have a registration system. If you don't avail yourself to it, then you waive your right to come to federal court. Go to state court and get your state rights. You see what I'm? You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Maybe I'm misreading it, and they don't say copyright claim in the entire lawsuit, but it seems to be based on a copyright claim. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you have to go to the court and say, listen, I know what they wrote for titles on the sections to say count 1, count 2, like this and that and the other thing. But aren't these really all copyright claims, Your Honor? And didn't the Supreme Court say they have to be registered? So insofar as they're based on copyright claims, can't we just throw these out? This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. It'll start with motions to dismiss for failure to state claims and all other kinds of stuff. And then once they get past the motions to dismiss, they'll get into answering and discovery, and it'll chug along, dispositive motions, pretrial conferences, and we'll see what happens. Why does your mic focus right? Only record on the left channel. You have to go inside the software and turn it off from a stereo pair. That's because the input you have it summed as a stereo pair on the software. You gotta go and open the software and say, you see these two here? They're not stereo pair. They're individual mono tracks, not stereo sum tracks. Dig? Then you should be good to go. It'll break it up into 2 separate mono tracks with panning. The other way to get around it is 2 mono tracks and pan hard left and hard right. But they make it easy. You can sum them into just a stereo track, and they do that for you. And it sounds like you're stuck there. And I said, those guitars sounds great. Yeah, it does sound great. My biggest complaint, but I tell you, I'm kind of getting used to the color. But I thought the bridge pickup was a little far from the bridge. Though I've done some measurements, and it does not seem to be all that crazy. It actually seems to be about the same as my LP and my Strat. So maybe it's just a cycle. It's just an optical illusion. But I felt like the bridge pickup was too far away, like it needed to be closer. But when you measure from where the coil is to where it ends, that distance, and then you do the same thing on like my LP, like right there, or the Strat's even longer. So I'm like, okay, it's all in me head. Rat was the loud, yeah, Rat. I saw Rat and Bon Jovi was the opener. Oh, thanks, Artie's Place. Much appreciated. Loud bands. One of the loudest bands I ever heard, Motorhead, drove us right out of the club. And then the other one was, without a doubt, P-Funk. Like blindingly loud. P-Funk All-Stars. They would have been good if we had earplugs. It's my day job. I'm all in IT now, but I used to work in legal services. Yeah, I heard the same thing. I heard Boston was pretty loud too. I've heard the same thing. When I saw the Who, they were notably quiet. The town was so worried about the Who. It was an outdoor show. I didn't think they were that loud, and then the town called and said they were too loud, and they turned down for the second half of the show. We could barely hear it. We were so far away, and people around us were so loud talking. It was like one of the worst shows I've seen. Couldn't hear it. One of the best sounding shows I ever saw was, without a doubt, Rush. That like Quadrophenia style setup. Oh my God, that was so good. That was like late 80s, early 90s. I forget, like 80, 89, 90, 91, somewhere around there. What's up, Dave-O? I saw the Eat 'em and Smile tour. I don't play every day. I wish I could. Well, thanks, Vinny P. Wow, this band was Smashing Pumpkins. Interesting. Painted black primer. Just go straight up black. Just matte black. Like the... Should I get that paint that's like... Don't they make paint that's like the darkest paint ever? Right? It doesn't... It's like the most anti-reflective paint ever. Right? It's like mega black. Which guild should you get? A walnut semi-hollow or $5.99 blue with the guild wiggle stick. Oh. I might go blue. I've been liking colored over natural. You know? Something with a nice tint. Yeah, Kiss was pretty loud. The Presto tour. It might have been the Presto tour. Might have been Mr. Big opened up. Oh my God, I think that was the tour. And we caught Mr. Big. Well, you're making me... Yeah. Exactly, you can't get any blacker. Yeah, it's a roasted flame maple. Looking pretty good. It's got the flambe. It's got it on the front too, but it doesn't quite come out like the back. You know? I think it's too flat. It's reflecting too much light back. I tell you, we saw Weezer a couple of years ago, and it was loud. The bass was so friggin' loud. I still have the Steinberger. In fact, I meant to bring it out tonight, and I just plumb forgot about it. We could have compared headless guitars. I do have the Steinberger, which is, I think, $100 or more or less than this, and has a tremolo. Yeah, fret ends are great. You know, good fret work. Yeah, the body on the Steinberger is absolutely smaller. Yeah, Black Label Society, yeah. Yeah, the one I have doesn't have the trans trem. It just has the regular trem. I didn't see Rush on Moving Pictures. I saw them the very next door, the Signals tour. And I loved it. They sounded real good. And I was very close on that tour. We had some drunk chicks behind us hanging all over us. They were super annoying all night, but when the lights went up, their pocketbooks were gone. They were all angry and upset, and a lot of people were going, ah, because they were so annoying all night. Walked in like they owned the place, and they got owned. I did see Robert Plant, but he wasn't loud when I saw him. I saw him on two tours. Maybe I saw him on 3 tours now that I think about it. I might have seen him with 3. I saw him once with that Big Log, album had just come out. And then I saw him again on the Honey Drippers tour. I don't think he was doing the Honey Drippers thing then, was he? I don't think so. And then I saw him, a buddy of mine won tickets off of like WBCN. And they were really good seats at Great Woods to see him. He was doing like a lot of Zepp style stuff, and the dude he had was like going. I was like, are you trying to be Jimmy Page right now? It's like, is it just me, or is this guy acting like Jimmy Page up there? It was good though. That was a really good show. Sounded good. Oh my God, they were killing it. There were women at a Rush show, and they were drunk. And this one chick was hanging off me all night, falling on me, and I'm following the guy in front of me. He's looking around, I'm like, dude, I got this shit. He's like, I know. And we worked out a system. My God. I just remember the lights went up and their pocketbooks were gone. And they were like, they were extremely upset. They were cursing like the dregs they were. And I think a lot of people, I know my friend Andy, who was there, was like, and I think Dave was just like, burn, you friggin' psycho bitch. She's probably dead. Where is she now? I'm going to say dead. If she wasn't dead, then she's probably someone's grandmother at like 32. What's up, Tony? What's up, buddy? Oh, you had tickets to see Zepp in 80. I had friends that had tickets to see Zepp in 1980. I remember all the stuff, and I was like, oh, I'll see Zepp. I was so excited to see Led Zeppelin. I didn't have tickets, but I was like, I'm definitely going to see them. They're going to come around on tour. I'm definitely going to see Zeppelin. And then that all went out the window. Have a good one, Coots. Adamant. Damn. I can't think of that riff now. Yeah, God. In Excess opened up. Yeah, yeah. They had a little run there. In Excess. What brand of double strings? You don't have to put double strings on this. It's got a clamp up there. It doesn't need a ball. You just put the ball in through the bottom and pull it through the top and clamp her down and cut the excess off and you're good to go. The ball goes in the black tube. So you don't have to use double ball strings. Yeah, Goody Two Shoes. I'm always going. But that is not, that's what, Flaming Lips? I haven't tried Eastman. Well, as ready as I'm going to be for the hurricane, but I don't think we're going to get much effect from it here. Unless it moves. If it moves, we could see more rain, but right now we're not going to see a lot of rain. And we're not going to see a lot of wind. So we've sort of moved out of the cone of crapola. But, you know, it could move back in. It's still pretty far down south, but as that cone tightens up, I'm feeling more and more confident that it's going to hit west to us. Got a nice neck on this guitar. I do like it. Oh, Violent Femmes. It was one of those two-word bands. Then we ran out of two-name bands. And we moved to three-name bands. Soon we'll be in four-name bands. I was going to start a band called Three-Word Name. '90 went to Whitesnake with your girlfriend. I wonder if I went to Whitesnake. I don't think it was 1990 though. I want to say I saw Whitesnake in 88 or 89. '20's Kingdom Come is Greta Van Fleet. Who are my favorite YouTubers? I have links to a lot of my favorite channels on my channel. PDX Guitar Freak and Robert Baker and Tone King and Fricky. Gotta love Fricky. And then Gear Gods. Of course, Henning. I like Paul Davids and Mary. Pretty much samurai guitarist. Pretty much all the people I go to the events with. They're doing it right now. Friskies are Meow Mix. I caught Buddy trying to gnaw the bag open the other day. What are you doing? He's like, I think there's like sniffing it, like biting the bag and tearing a hole in it and going like, I think there's cat food in this bag. I'm like, yeah? What are you doing? Yeah, and then there's the other kitty. You have a kitty right there. And you have a kitty right there. We got them. They're sisters. They came from a stray litter. I guess a year ago this month. Yeah, I think they were born in like June or July of last year. We got them in August. You need a Jackson Soloist. They have one. They have a U.S.-made Jackson Soloist out at the Natick store. It's on, like, what do they call that? Like police hold, right? Until enough time has passed where no one calls it in stolen. But they have a Jackson Soloist. It's gorgeous. It's like in dead mint condition. And I was looking at it the other day. The problem is it's $2,499 used. And that's a lot of money on a guitar, especially right now. You know, I could buy like 5 really good synthesizers for that money. I'd spend that on a single guitar right now. So we'll see. And I have seen so many Jackson Soloists over the year between $13.99 and $15.99. It's hard to pay $24.99 for the same exact guitar. You know, it's just that prices are way up and stock is way down. Greetings up in Maine. Yeah, it's like a pawn shop hold, right? I agree, Mr. Jam and Jerry. I think that's way too much for a used Soloist. I agree with Ripley, 15 or less, 1,500 or less, $14.99, $13.99. They had one on there. I so regret not having the cash at hand. They had one on there for like $7.99. It was friggin' awesome. You know, it was the really, really, really dark maroon that they do. Single, double. So what's that? The Soloist 1, something like that. Oh my God, it was so nice. It said Made in USA right in the headstock. The inlays, everything came with case. I was like, oh my God. You know, confused with like the Japanese import one. Either that or the photo was wrong, but they said Jackson Soloist, country of origin, USA. I was like, someone entered that into the database. I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. You know, it was sold so quickly. I just so regret not having the cash at the time. That was so cheap. It's hard to get a guitar, you know, that cheap too often. PRS with the rare color, 10 grand. Spend it if you got it. Well, thanks, Andre. I'm trying to catch up with the comments here. Guess what you paid for a SL2H? If you got it any less than $1,200, you stole it. $350. But it came with a terrible curse. Well, the weather in Boston right now is fine. It's supposed to turn all to complete garbage by the morning, but not here. It all shifted kind of west. Kind of shifted away from us, you know? And we're good. I mean, the last time I checked, all the rain is going to be like, and at the farthest east it will be central Mass. And I'm several miles from that, many miles. So I'm much more closer to Boston. How to change pickups on a Gibson with a solderless harness. Truthfully, I'd pull the harness out and replace all the pickups and just go old school. It's hard to work with those harnesses. You know, you'd have to find the right end and then crimp an end to make the coupler for it. I'd rip the whole thing out, but that's just me. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, brother? Love your show, man. Keep sharing, keep making great videos. Oh, thanks, man. Much appreciated. I try. I'm trying. But that's a little tricky, those harnesses. Yeah, you have to rip them out and just throw in regular pots and, you know, regular everything else. It's a pretty common thing you'll find. Electronics change to standard pots. You'll see that out there on used listings. All original except pots changed from the wiring harness to standard pots because whoever did it didn't want to deal with that whole harness thing. Where's it? Yeah. Do you prefer your guitar with a good-looking headstock or a stumpy headless? Stumpy, man. What's wrong with Stumpy? How dare you? It's just, it's differently abled. Oh, they're hanging out, huh? Yeah, monkeys, little monkeys. Gorgeous neck on that guitar. Oiled? I think so. I think that's just a straight up oiled. Of course, it's baked maple or roasted maple. Make up the marketing department has to make up their mind. Is it baked or is it roasted? One of those. you had on John Mayer. I think John Mayer is a fantastic guitar player. I've said that since like 1999. What's up, Sebastian? Because, you know, I'm getting used to these are the Alnico 5s. The old Roswells. Sounding good. Sounding good. More cashless guitars, yeah. Oh, one of them left. The funny is in the morning when they first get up and they are just going cuckoo. Then they have a little cuckoo nighttime. Then it's back to, you know, calming down. But the very morning when everyone first gets up, God, they just go cuckoo bonkers. It's not like a Jackson. You don't have to worry about putting your eye out. You'll put your eye out, kid. Yeah, smoked maple. I like that. That's good. Yeah, the bridge. You can look it up. It's a branded bridge. See, probably just easier to turn that a little bit. It's an Apollo bridge. Just look up Apollo bridge. The bridges are a couple of $100. They're not cheap. Yeah, here's a good shot of it. And those brass circles up the front have grooves in them. That's what holds the string in place down there. And then to keep them from twisting, there's a grub screw that comes down from the front. It doesn't protrude out, so you don't really see it, but it's a hex grub screw that holds those other screws in place. And then I don't know if you can, no, you probably can't really see it. No, I'm not getting the light just right, but there's another screw back here that supposedly locks the string in if you don't have a ball at the end. You can just use it to use a string with no ball end on it at all, as I understand. Oh, thanks, Jeffy. Cat treats. Back looks like a Kiesel design. Maybe. Sure. I mean, if Kiesel would do this for $4.99, I'd buy one. Yeah, what color should I paint it? I really don't like the color. The color is regrettable. Green? Black? Red? Thinking like a Celtics green? You know, kind of a Boston thing. What's going to work with that neck? It's a dark neck. So I'm thinking like a dark color will bring out the neck a little bit more. Right now, the neck is getting crushed because of the brightness of the body. You know, when you stare at it, you're like, the body, I can't even see. Right? Daphne blue? Purple. red crackle. Crackles are hard. Swirls are easier. Have a good one, Mark. Flamingos get their color by eating crabs, yeah. Malnourished flamingo. In fact, that's what they should call it. They should call it malnourished flamingo. It's the saddest color in the lineup. Right next to dead sparrow. I'm seeing burgundy. I'm seeing a lot of EVH stripes, orchid sparkle. That sounds unusually specific. Cherry red. I think cherry red could work. Cherry red could work. Like candy apple red, I think could work too. Or like a cola, like candy cola, like a darker red. You know, Ferrari red. Right. That's what the my EVH is. That's Ferrari red. Metal flake green. Oh, maybe do the flakes, huh? So should I go like crazy flake on it? I could go like flake orange. I almost think flake orange would kind of look pretty good with the black. You know what I'm saying? Am I going flake orange on this? You know, make it look a little bit more racy? You know what I'm saying? Like almost like a dune buggy? Candy apple red, caramel cream swirl. I might have to hit the supermarket and see if they're out of Ben & Jerry's. What are you doing to me? Loch Ness green. How about green? We could call it green monster. Not green monster. You can call it monster green. Green monster might be trademarked. Monster green isn't. What's up, Yeti Motzi? Yeah, candy apple red. You think candy apple red would work? I think so. Against the black hardware, too. Again, you got to keep in your mind the black hardware. You know, neon orange. Like George Harrison's Rocky. God, that's a lot of work. Seafoam green. I'm kind of done with seafoam green. It was so hot a few years ago. And I have a seafoam green telly. Black with red roses and vines. Jesus. Paint flake electric blue. Chrome it out. Chrome it out. Look at you. You mean like chrome dip the entire body? I think they make a chrome paint now. Racing stripes, gotta go racing stripes. Blowtorch it, roasted neck, roasted body. Toasted marshmallow, just take a blowtorch around the edge. Toasted marshmallow, bro. You've seen the Reverend that's root beer sparkle. No. I know what you're saying. It might go good with the neck. It's like a root beer caramel float. Ernie Ball green. Do you have a paint gun that can shoot flakes? Well, I have a pretty good size. I have a 150-gallon compressor. It's probably enough to. I could go get a paint gun. What's a paint gun cost? $100. You know. I could probably get a friggin' paint gun off of Amazon for friggin' $40. Ben & Jerry's half baked, exactly. Blue sparkle, says Landon. Landon's going blue sparkle. Aljon says chrome dip. They have the paint. Banana yellow. I could see a yellow. That would look very Ibanez-ish if I put yellow on it, though. Then you're gonna really call up Ibanez, and I think it's gonna really invoke an Ibby. Get it airbrushed with my cat on it, big cat. That's a kind of a Mrs. Smith thing. I don't wanna encroach the cat space. She has that firmly locked up. How sturdy is the net? Would it work with heavy strings? It's pretty beefy. When you move this, huh? It's probably a little, there you go. Pretty beefy. For all your chugging. She is literally sleeping with her head on that pillow. She's like literally laying like this with her head on the pillow. She thinks it's people. Toffee Heath Park Crunch. Do a flip-flop finish. Yeah. Those are all the rage, right? The flip-flops. My bike is a flip-flop. It's purple and blue. Some red flames. You know, route it out for Floyd Rose. Throw some EMGs in it. Do the red perimeter burst like the old blue Saraceno. Oh, yeah, right. Red perimeter burst. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. It's a Graphtec nut. It's a Tusk. It's a Graphtec Tusk nut. What are those? Graphite? And that looks, it's 24 frets and it's a 25.5-inch scale. That looks short, but you know the strings go all the way down to here. Tartan finish. Silver burst, yeah. Tiger stripes. Black skulls. Now you're talking. Metallic gangrene. Good evening from 99-degree Arizona. We're humid here. Very, very humid. We're not nearly that hot. We have a dew point of like 74 right now. And a hurricane on the way, but I don't think it's going to quite hit us. Little inland, I hope. Unless it changes, which it could. It probably will. They're like, it looks like the rain is heading right for Steve's house. The dark cloud. The dark cloud over at all times. Henning's racing green. Henning's color is in a racing green. It's like a mental illness green. Just put a Rick and Morty sticker on it and call it a day. Just, it's one possible course of action. And I'll get my scuba gear out. Now, luckily, it looks like it's going to miss us, and be more west. And I couldn't be happier about it because we're going to be on the windy side, but it's going to be a Category 1. By the time it gets up to us, it's going to be a tropical storm, and then by the time it hits land and sort of gets over to us, the winds will be broken up quite a bit. So it's really not going to be all that bad for us. I'm hoping, unless it moves back east, and then I'm in big trouble. But as long as it stays on its current course, I should be okay. I mean, it's going to be here friggin' tomorrow. Could they lock up a friggin', a track, please? Thank you. the guitar is really balanced because it doesn't have a headstock, you know. So there's really no dive either way. It's pretty good. Someone else said something about it does say Harley Benton. I think on the plate. I think it says Harley Benton on the plate, right? Doesn't it? Right? HB. You know what? Just change your name to HB. And let this long nightmare finally end. Thought it was a Kiesel. Nah. Like I said, if Kiesel will sell one of these for $4.99, I'd pay it. But I don't think Kiesel's putting that together for $4.99. Maybe $24.99. Use strap locks on any of your guitars. Yeah, I think I have strap locks on the Select Strat. Came with strap locks, you know, those Schaller ones. And I think I'm trying to think. I thought I had one other guitar with them, but I thought it was another Fender. I think I have a couple of Strats with them, and that's it. What are your thoughts on fanned fret necks? I haven't tried one, but you know, in theory, they should be more in tune than a standard neck. So, you know, anything that makes it sound more in tune is great. But the only reason why most people seem to do it is because they tune so friggin' low. So, that seems to be the problem. It's the you know, you're in friggin' drop Z. Red Sox red, that's a great idea. Yeah, you know, like pick one of the team colors, like black and yellow, do like a, you know, like a Bruins thing, or, you know, do the Red Sox red and blue. That could work. Still might be leaning like, I thought that orange was a good idea, and I thought the green, but it would have to be, I think, kind of a, you know, like a Celtics green or something. You know what I'm saying? It'd have to be or blue. I could see it being blue. I just don't know if the blue is going to work with the neck. The darker color it actually might work with. Believe it or not, blue in the darker roast really seems to work better. Anyway, we'll see. Do Do I own a Steinberger? I do. I have a Steinberger GT Pro. Ever played a Fender with a soft neck V? I don't know. I have a 50. I have an ST54, which is the first year. Supposedly it has a hard V, but I have felt harder Vs, but it is a pretty hard V. Like the Clapton comes to mind as a harder V. I like V necks. I like the fall away. I think they're very easy to play. I don't know that I would like the soft V as much as the hard V, but I do like V necks. I'm a big fan. In fact, they make a Hot Rod 50s that I could have scored for such short money a couple of years ago. All lacquer, American made, Fender. When they were new, they were like $1,800. There was one up there for like $899. It has a V-neck and the tint and I think it had like a Hot Rails in the bridge, and a couple of noiseless vintage in the other. And I kind of like that guitar, but it was a good price on it too, but didn't get it, and I don't see them as much anymore. That whole Hot Rod series seems to be sort of gone. If you want one, you have to get it when they sort of, within like, I would say 12 to 36 months after original release is when you're going to find most of them. Then the stock will start to wane. Stock is up at Guitar Center Used, though. They almost had 30,000 units this morning. They hit over 29,000, close to 30,000 units. They haven't been there in months. So that's good. They're probably trying to pack it in for Christmas. Yeah, orange would be cool, right? How about tea brown? There you go. Oh, you mean tea green? Tea blue? It's all tea. All tea these days. Gold middle flake. I think V-necks are comfy. Silver flake. They make a lot of crazy paints out there. I know, 5-minute warning. Jeez. That went by pretty quick. Go with the Pats colors. I don't know that they're as distinctive as maybe the Red Sox or the Celtics. Certainly the Bruins. Although the black and yellow could be the Steelers. Black and gold. Well, thanks for hanging out, Steve. I think when I'm done with the Kramer, the next one I'll work on is my 87 RG 560 that I've owned all these years. I bought it brand new off the shelf. It's the one with the scalloped fretboard. That one needs a lot of work that I've been putting off for a long time. And once I get the Kramer going, now that I have everything sort of going over there on the bench, I think next up after that will be that 87. It needs a lot. I got to make a parts list and order up some parts out of Hoshino, but little bridge parts. But yeah, it needs some TLC. I'll do the same thing. I'll level and dress the frets and clean it up and fix some of the electronics up and find the plate, and it needs work. I have a bunch of guitars. I have about a half dozen guitars that could use some serious bench time. Was in Guitar Center Danvers a week ago. They had a lot of guitars in stock. Their stock is coming back big time. I was out in Natick a couple of weeks ago, and maybe a week ago, and they had a lot of guitars. They had really built back their inventory for used guitars and new guitars. That whole wall of Gibsons, and I had been in there a few months earlier, and I would say 3/4 of them were new. So I knew what they had for stock a few months ago because I was going in there and checking out SGs, right? And then that wasn't all that long ago. That was like last spring. And I just went in there, and it's all new stock. That's an Epiphone. That's one of the 2020s with the ebony fretboard and the Pro Buckers. I've played that in many live shows. So, and I've done a video on it that's got a lot of views. So check out that vid for that guitar. It's a great guitar. Yeah, I thought the Kramer frets came out good. Yeah, that's a Kramer Pacer. That's a modern one. That's 2011? I think it's a 2011 Kramer Pacer Classic. It's very similar to the other guitar I have, except the other one's an original 83, and it's got a rosewood fretboard instead of a maple. But again, it's two humbuckers and a Floyd Rose and Candy Apple Red. It's almost the same guitar. But that has probably a basswood body or an alder body or, something like that. And the other one I have is a maple body, which is what they used back in the 80s. Solid maple body. It's crazy. Just picked up a 2007 RG 550 20th anniversary model. I'm interested in one of those Genesis models. They look pretty cool. Yeah, classic Pacer Classic series. That's what it is. Pacer Classic. Yeah. Have you ever played a Harley Benton ST62? I have not. That's their vintage Strat. I have not. Well, the clock on the wall says 9:01, and the family probably wants out. They're locked up in the second floor and third floor area. They probably want down, and I think I'm getting ready for a little snack, fresh coffee. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. Super extra thanks to anyone who contributed. Really appreciate it. And of course, mega schmega shout out to my mod squad. Super duper appreciated. And there you have it. I'll see you guys in a week. Should have a video or two out this week, I hope. Maybe we'll see how the next couple of days go. If I lose power, then maybe not. And have a catastrophic flood, we'll see. But I think I'm going to be okay. We're going to be riding the storm out. If only someone could write a song with that title. All right. Have an awesome week, guys, and I will see you in a week. Until then, rock on.